everyone, my name is Elloise and welcome back to my channel. This video is so special because this is the last video out of the 12 Gays of Christmas. It's a series I've been doing this whole month where I post either gay stuff or Christmas stuff or a merge of both. So if you for some reason are not subscribed yet and you enjoy my kind of videos, make sure you subscribe down below. You're just gonna stare at me this whole video? Lay down, lay down, lay down. I don't know what this dog is doing, but okay. I just want to thank every single one of you who have watched one of my videos or all of my videos or a bunch of my videos. I really truly appreciate your support during this whole festive season. It's been really hard to edit and get things up on time, but I think I've did an okay job, and you guys have really blown me away with all the comments and all the love, so I really appreciate you guys. So I asked you all for some really gay questions, and man did you provide. I am apologizing in advance because I don't think I'll be able to answer every single question. Thank you regardless for submitting a question. Let's just move this over a bit. How do you deal with internalized homophobia, and how do you deal with other people discriminating against you or people of the LGBT community? Love your videos. You're so cute! There's kind of two questions in this one, and it is how do you deal with your own internalized homophobia, and my answer to that is just challenge it all the time. I know that this is something that can stick around for a long time because I've experienced it myself. Sometimes it lasts years. You know, there are still some times where I don't feel valid or there's a voice inside my head that's telling me like I'm wrong, but you just gotta keep challenging it. You know deep down that being gay is completely okay, so just try and always remember that. The second part of the question is how you deal with other people, and the best advice I can give you is just to ignore it and know that it's a reflection on them rather than you. Anything hateful people say is truly showing how low and uneducated and unempathetic, is that a word, of a person they are. Don't take it personally. It is not an attack on you. It's just showing how shit they are. This one is very similar, and it's how do I accept that I'm a lesbian? It's okay in my heart, but my head doesn't want to listen. I think the answer is actually within your question, and that is listening to your heart more often than your head. There are a lot of similar questions like this, and it's just remembering that it is a process and you aren't alone. There are so many other people who have experienced very similar things. We've all been through it. So I personally find comfort in knowing that. I really like this question. We see a gay couple or minority group in public. Ideas on how to express acceptance and support without being cringe. Sometimes you don't want to out other people, but also like if you know someone's gay, the best thing you can do is just smile at them, and if anything happens, stand up for them. If you were literally to see a gay couple holding hands walking down the street and you give them this massive smile, they know that you know, and it makes them feel so good because generally it's pretty hard to do those kind of things. I like your hair, I like your style. Something really small like that, you're just complimenting them, but you're not necessarily saying, I accept you because you're gay. How did you start off your channel, and what tips would you give to people that want to make an LGBTQ plus channel? Okay, I started just literally by uploading a video with 10 facts about me and saying what I wanted my channel to be. That's like literally a practical way you could start. But at the time I was just starting to discover a whole heap of LGBTQ plus creators on YouTube, and I felt inspired by them. I really wanted to share my own story and have a place where I knew would be safe to express that I was gay, because out in the real world, and this is back in 2016, I just didn't feel comfortable doing that. I didn't have any friends, I didn't have a community, I didn't have anything to lean on except for the internet. So that's why I started. But tips for people who want to start a channel, I think it's just having what you want to make in mind. It's really important that you go into YouTube specifically with a niche that you want to explore. So mine is LGBTQ plus content. There was other avenues that I started to explore, which was rat content. If you have seen some of my pet rat videos, I used to have rats. It is a pretty accepting place if you find the right people. I want to be real, like don't expect results overnight. I want you to not give up because it takes a long time to build something. I've spent like 5, almost 6 years building up to where I am today. I can't tell you how much work it's been. Not saying that I regret it or don't like that it was a lot of work. I'm just saying like don't give up too early if it's something you really want. Okay, there are a few questions that are like, how do you go about telling someone you're gay when you know they might not be accepting or they might be homophobic? It's hard because I don't always have the answers, and I don't want to give you guys something that then puts you in danger. I think that if you know deep down that it's not safe to come out to them, please don't do it. Your safety is so important, and I wouldn't want you to risk that. There are other people you can come out to kind of have that person who knows. You can also try and slowly educate that person, but at the same time, that might be hard because they might immediately shut you down. But make sure you have a supportive network around you on people you can lean on if anything ever goes bad. This one's interesting. What has been your experience being a femme lesbian? A few years ago, I actually made a video on femme lesbian struggles. It was such a long time ago, so I can't remember exactly what I said in that, but I've had it pretty good up until now. There are a few moments in my life where things just frustrate me, but most of the people who I've came out to, like who I don't know very well, haven't said anything. I think it really helps if you're just confident in yourself and what you say and when you say it, because people will be, and unfortunately, people will be more accepting if you like really hold your ground. I like changing people's picture in their mind of what a lesbian should look like and then being me. I think it's really important to have that kind of representation and change people's opinions in that way. What makes you motivated each day? Because I can never get motivated, and I love your channel. Thank you! Motivation is something that you can never rely on to do anything. It's just an emotion that comes and goes. You don't really have control over it. So ignore the fact that you don't feel motivated and focus that energy on something else, which is routine building. I know this might sound really stupid and whatever, but if you have a routine that you constantly do whatever it is you want to do, maybe it's a reading goal, like you want to read 3 books every month or something, or like me, I have to edit YouTube videos. It's just a routine that every morning I do this at this time and I always do it no matter what. It's being really strict with yourself, so you're not relying on something that you can't control. It's just about turning up and showing up every single day without fail, regardless of how you feel about it. There are days, especially during this 12 days of Christmas period, where I'm like, I can't edit anymore. I don't feel good enough or motivated to do it, but I just know it has to be done. I can't rely on the feeling to want to do it, otherwise I won't get anywhere. Practical advice on how to meet other gay people, both wholesome community and dating wise, because honestly I'm such a baby and I don't know any good dating apps. Okay, so like what you said, dating apps. Tinder, I've had an okay experience with it. There are gays on there. I've been on 3 dates with people from Tinder. Her is another app. There's a bunch, if you just search like lesbian dating app, there's a lot out there. TikTok is also a good way to find gays within your area. The algorithm just seems to know. But just meeting people in general and building a community online is a great place. Like you've got forums, you've got YouTube, you've got TikTok, you've got Discord as well. If you've ever considered going onto Discord, there's a whole heap of different servers with gay people. And then just in person, it's just about going out and meeting new friends, because everyone will have a link to someone gay somewhere. If you can go to specific gay things, maybe it's a film festival, or maybe it's Pride, or maybe it's a gay bar, you have a high chance of meeting people if you just go out in general. And if you're also open about your sexuality too. Guys, you're asking some really hard questions. How do you cope with people not accepting your sexuality at work or a friend? Like I said before, don't take it personally. It's a reflection of them rather than yourself. But I know that this one is a bit different because these are people who are really close to you, and sometimes their opinions on you can hurt. I know, I understand. You have to just ignore them or offer to educate them on why they're wrong and try and change their view of gay people or of you. Know that it is a process and it can take time for someone to learn that and be better. Unless it becomes a problem for you, like in work, people are actually saying homophobic things to your face or like to the other people and bullying you, then obviously do something and bring it up to your boss or whoever, a support person. I've talked about this one a little bit over my whole YouTube life, but when did I first realize I was gay, and did I ever have any doubts whether I was really gay? So I fell in love with my best friend before I realized I was gay, and I started dating her. At the time, I didn't give too much thought to whether I liked girls in general or not. I didn't really think about it, but I think after dating her for a bit, I was like, oh shit, like yes, I am gay. It slowly kind of came together, so I think that was the moment I realized. There was a lot of doubt about in the beginning placing the label on me because I didn't really know much about it. I had this image in my mind that a lot of people in general have, that lesbians look and act a certain way, and I just had never seen anyone who was like me. I didn't know that I could be gay, so that led to a lot of doubt and a lot of like, maybe I just like this one specific person and that's it. Also, how can we fix it? Just with time. I promise with time it goes away. This is a big question. Oh, okay. Is it necessary to come out? Because I feel being gay, bi, pan, etc. is normal as being straight. And straight people don't have to come out about who they love and what their sexuality is. So I feel like, why should we, as the LGBT community, come out? Ooh, there's a lot to unpack with this one, and I really do want to unpack this one. Is it necessary to come out? No. If you don't want to come out, you don't have to come out. If you don't want to, if it's not safe, if you don't feel like it, if you're not sure, don't do something you're not 100% about. The second part of the question is, I feel like being LGBTQ+ is as normal as being straight. This is hard to answer because yes, it is normal, full stop, but it is not as normal as being straight in the terms of percentage of people. 99% of people are straight. That's not an actual statistic, but most people are straight, and there's a handful of people who are gay. It's not something that people expect. It's becoming more normalized to be LGBTQ+, which is great, but at the same time, I think it's still important that if you want to, you do come out, because it's important to show the numbers, show faces and body image of what people actually look like who are gay, so we can get rid of the stereotypes and slowly get rid of all the homophobic and transphobic comments and thoughts and just things in the world. This is really hard because I don't want to hurt your feelings or make a judgment based on just this comment, because there's obviously so much more to you than this comment, but I have a feeling that this comes from a sort of privileged position in the way that you think, the world is super accepting, or where you live is super accepting, so you don't need to come out. But you have to remember that's not the case everywhere in the world. There are countries where you will be killed if you are gay, or you will go to prison if you are gay. I think there's something like 70 countries where it's still illegal to be gay, which is an issue, right? So in those countries, it's not normal and it's not okay, which is so sad and makes me feel like I have so much pressure on myself to do what I'm doing to educate people and just be someone who is openly gay online. But yeah, I think what I'm trying to say, it is important to come out so that you can show what being gay is like and that it's okay to be gay, so we can normalize it, because I don't think we have normalized it yet. That's the bottom line. I really appreciate this question because there's just so much within it. In an ideal world, we wouldn't have to come out and people just wouldn't assume that everyone is straight. Like, that's what would be really great, but that's just not the case. Do you still look at some pride flags and not know what they are? Or hear a gender or sexuality and not know what it is? I feel like I should know most of them, but I don't, and sometimes I feel I'm hurting somebody's feelings by not knowing their sexuality and gender. This is a really good question. To answer the first part, yes, there are still, there's a bunch of flags that I don't know what they mean, and there's a bunch of terms I don't know what they mean. But over the years, I've slowly started to build up my vocabulary and my knowledge of the flags. Even some of the flags I used in the video, guessing the pride flags with my mum, some of them I didn't know what they were a while ago, and now I do. It's hard because there is a lot to know, and you can't expect, and I don't think anyone expects, everyone to know everything. Don't put that pressure on yourself to know every single pride flag and every single sexuality and every single way that someone could identify, because it's just impossible. I think it's more important that if someone comes to you and tells you that they're a new term you haven't heard of, or uses a flag that you haven't seen before, I think then it's your duty to educate yourself on that specific one so you can be an ally for that person. But in saying that, there's just a few basic things that everyone should know, but beyond that, don't feel bad about not knowing. How do you get over a straight girl who is also your friend? Firstly, you've got to accept that she's straight. That's the first thing. You need to know and completely accept that she's never gonna feel the same way about you because she's not interested. 2, distract yourself by surrounding yourself by other people. Keep yourself busy so that you can move on from that crush. And also, know that you deserve to like someone who's gonna like you back. Keep that in the back of your mind, because there is someone out there, I promise you, and they're not straight. I know that it's hard to get over someone, but just knowing that you have to and that you want to will help you achieve that. Do you and girl power want kids in the future? I think so, but like it's so hard for me to myself kind of know. I don't know. I'm like 70% sure that yes, I want kids, but it's just like seems a little bit distant to me. I still have a lot of things I want to do. I know that she's really good around kids, and I know that, you know, it's definitely a possibility in her mind that we will do that. Yeah, who knows? I think so. I think so. How did you know girl power was into you and vice versa? I don't think during the time I gave it any thought, like I didn't second guess it kind of thing, because I think it just slowly led to me knowing that she did. I don't know, there was just things early on that you could tell, and I could tell that I liked her, and I was making sure that I gave off those vibes kind of thing. Like we voice chatted a lot in the beginning, and we still do all the time. Being able to express things through your voice and the tone of your voice and kind of add like a little bit of flirtiness in there helps in that aspect, and she would do it back, and I think that's how I move. Do you ever feel like all your personality and the reason why people like you is simply because you're gay? What an interesting question. I think everyone I know in real life likes me and is my friend because of me. I don't really have any friends that we're just friends because we're gay. I think it might be a little bit different on the internet because people have found me through the gay stuff that I've made. Probably you guys have jumped on board because it was gay and you could either relate to me or you just wanted to see more gay stuff, whatever it is. I think that does play a factor into why I have an audience. I think if you had zero personality or people did not care at all about personality, they wouldn't be here. What happened to the van? Maybe my memory is tricking me, but I thought I watched a video of the van renovation. The van is completely done. I just haven't put a video together of the whole process, which I want to do, but I'll have to do next year. But yeah, it's done, and now I can go places in it. I'm gonna go for the first trip over New Year's, and then hopefully a lot of trips next year if we're allowed to drive around. What is your message to baby gays? Babies, I want you to know that you are completely valid, and over time it will get so much easier and you'll feel so much more confident in yourself, but you've got to give yourself that time. I see you and I love you, and don't fall for any straight girls. Okay, I think that is enough questions, but thank you all so much for submitting questions. I know I couldn't reply to every single one of you. I appreciate all of you for watching the 12 Days of Christmas. It has been an absolute pleasure. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas, and I will see you in January. Bye!